Chapter 51 Large World Channel opened. You are listening at novelfull.audio. 3 days later, Su Xian lay on the chair and hummed a little tune. Behind her, Xianyuan Qingqing squeezed her shoulders. Teacher, is this strength appropriate? In front of her, Shaoli was beating her thighs and calves, like hammering with her hands. Teacher, has my hammering technique improved? Beside him, Zhangmu was demonstrating how to make bamboo tube rice. Master, 2 junior sisters, you will definitely want to eat my skills. Life is leisurely and happy. For the first time, Su Xian experienced the happy retirement life in advance. Boom. Suddenly, the sky shook. The leisurely life has just begun. Gone again. The 4 masters and disciples looked at the outside of Dinghai King's city at the same time, where there were thunder and lightning, dark clouds, and something seemed to be churning deep in the darkness. Boom. There was another loud noise, the sky cracked, and a huge black crack appeared in the sky. The atmosphere of great terror permeated the air. The black crack actually swallowed up the dark clouds and lightning. The violent and chaotic energy filled the entire Dinghai King city with a sense of oppression. The large world passage has been opened. Su Xian stood up and said solemnly, Qingqing, let's go. Xianyuan Qingqing's expression also became serious. Zhangmu, Shaoli, you 2 stay in the house and are not allowed to go out, understand? Su Xian warned. Yes, master. Teacher, don't worry. Leaving the eldest and second child behind, Su Xian and the third child quickly rushed to the meeting point agreed with Yan Yue, Xia Qing and the others. When they arrive, the official force has boarded the super-large carrier ship and is preparing to enter the world passage. Teams are also quickly gathering. In total, there are 1,000 combat squads and 300 reserve squads. Lao Su, Qingqing, you are here. Xia Qing pointed to the sky in the distance. Look, the world passage has been initially formed, and we will be able to enter it soon. Follow Xia Qing's instructions. Everyone cast their gazes, and the black cracks were now being opened by the violent and chaotic energy, gradually taking shape. Looking at the chaotic world passage, the professionals felt inexplicable palpitations. It was like an endless abyss, seeming to swallow them up. Su Xian looked at the solemn-looking people and tried to pretend to be nervous, but for some reason, he felt very comfortable at this moment. There is even a desire to rush into the passage of the world immediately. Pooh! Su Xian quickly suppressed his desire. I thought silently in my heart, I'm just here to accompany my apprentice to practice, and take a look at the scenery. Don't give me any trouble. Warriors of Dinghai King City, come with me. Seize the world passage, raise the power of the Dragon Kingdom, and raise the power of the Blue Star. On the top of the super transport ship, a figure stood. This person is the head coach of this world passage conquest, one of the 4 resident feudal lords in Dinghai King City, Shui Tiannu, the Marquis of New Tiannu. Raise the power of the Dragon Kingdom. Raise the power of the Blue Star. Must win. Must win. The transport ship led the mighty Dinghai City army towards the world passage. Afterwards, countless small teams followed. Wish the warriors a triumphant victory. Wish the warriors a triumphant victory. Outside the city, people seeing off were also bustling, and the sound at this moment even overshadowed the loud noise coming from the passage of the world. Some people had tears in their eyes, some people reluctantly said goodbye. The warriors who fight for the world passage are the guardians of Dinghai King City and the soldiers of the Dragon Kingdom, but they are also relatives of the people, the father of a certain child, the husband of a certain wife, and the children of a certain elderly couple. This battle may be gone forever. Boom. There was another sound from the world passage. That area of the world has been occupied by the world passage. The violent and chaotic energy gradually disappeared, and the world passage finally took shape. Kill! The official troops jumped off the battleship, spread their mechanical wings, and flew towards the passage. 1,000 squads followed. As soon as they entered the channel, pressure came from all directions. The chaotic energy made the professionals who entered the channel for the first time very uncomfortable, and even breathing became unsmooth. Teacher, what do you think? Xianyuan Qingqing asked beside her. Fine. Su Xian's face was calm. The chaotic energy didn't seem to make any difference to him. After being sucked into his body, it actually condensed the starlight in his body much faster than usual. The starlight in his body has become brighter, and in that bright starlight, something new is about to be born. This is a sign that he is about to break through to the Silver Moon realm. Su Xian guessed that this had something to do with the prototype of the chaos body, which could contain all the spiritual energy in the world. The chaotic energy here is just generated when the small fragments of two worlds merge and collide. It may be difficult for ordinary people to absorb it and needs to be refined. To him, it was as simple as natural breathing. Everyone looked up and looked at the other end of the world passage. There was also a huge opening there, and countless monsters poured in. They were so densely packed that it was mind-numbing to watch, and the number far exceeded that of Blue Star. Blue Star didn't panic at all. Since the fusion of the two worlds, Blue Star has always fought a battle of winning with less. Occupy the core stronghold first. Nu Tianho gave the order and led the large troops towards the core stronghold. In the middle of the passage, there are two gaps gushing out chaotic energy. The task of the large army is to occupy them and install special defense crystals. The game world does not have this technology. They use blood sacrifice to convert the chaotic energy gap into the blood array they control. 2 ways, the same result. It's just that the game world is more cruel, but they occupy the stronghold faster, which is one of the reasons why the Blue Star world loses more than it wins in the battle in the channel. At least in Dragon Country, there will be no situation of sacrificing human lives to quickly occupy the stronghold. Let's go too. Su Xian is the nanny and the commander of their team. Their team carried a total of 3 small defense crystals. As long as they occupied 3 small strongholds, the mission of this trip would be successfully completed. Old Su, speed gain. Xia Qing said. I want it too. Yan Yuer trembled and agreed softly. I don't need it. Zhen Lang is good at speed. Even without Su Xian's gain, his speed is still faster than the gunner and shield soul. Xianyuan Qingqing no longer needs Su Xian's help. She has reached a state of self-satisfaction. The 5 people moved forward quickly. In the field of vision, a team of monsters broke in. Obviously, both sides had their eyes on the same stronghold. Chapter 52. It turns out that this is a little understanding. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Xia Qing, go. Su Xian waved the staff in his hand and chanted the spell. Blessing of life. 3 colors of holy light. Wind spell. Blessing of light. Blessing of strength. More than a dozen rays of light flew towards Xia Qing at the same time. Xia Qing. Yan Yuer. Zhen Lang. It's so outrageous. Don't nannies have time to chant? All kinds of buff spells don't need to be chanted or sealed, just open your mouth. Fuck, with this chanting speed, what kind of nanny are you? Beside him, Yan Yuer said faintly, Old Su, why didn't you tell me earlier that you are so powerful? You made me nervous for most of the day. Su Xian looked innocent. I told you, I know a little bit about all the blessing spells. Yan Yuer wanted to hit him. What do you mean by knowing a little bit? My speed of firing cannons is not as fast as your spells. Awesome. Zhen Lang also gave a thumbs up. Old Su, can you keep up with your mental strength? Give me a dozen blessings, I will kill these beasts today. Su Xian smiled, then you must be refreshed. Wave the staff. More than a dozen blessings were injected into Zhen Lang and Yan Yuer's bodies. The monster team on the opposite side was stunned. Xia Qing took the lead and stood at the front, while Zhen Lang looked for opportunities from the side and stared at the main output point of the monster team. Yan Yuer was in the middle, rolled up his sleeves, his muscles slightly bulged, hugging the huge energy cannon. Xianyuan Qingqing was the most relaxed. She stood in front of Su Xian holding a staff, listening to the teacher's teachings attentively and enjoying the one-on-one teaching on the spot. Of the 12 people in the field, the most panicked one was the auxiliary in the monster team. When Xia Qing and Zhen Lang rushed up with more than a dozen blessings, the auxiliary had just finished chanting 3 blessings and added them all to the main output. Su Xian saw the strategy of the monster team at a glance. The opponent had 2 main tanks, the rock monster and the snow mountain giant, both of whom were in the sun realm. The main attacking warrior was the headless knight, whose strength was similar to Zhen Lang, but Zhen Lang would definitely be able to suppress the headless knight after his blessing. The problem was that the opponent's three major output points were two goblin centurions who were good at throwing, and a big fire spirit who was good at fire elements. The goal of the monster team was very clear, which was to use the advantage of numbers to focus on the target and reduce their number, so as to further expand the advantage. Fortunately, Xuan was very capable. He held a shield in each hand and blocked most of the attacks. Ching, do you see that big fire spirit? Kill it. If Xuan took action, he could easily kill the opponent, but there was no need. The opponent huddled together, and he couldn't kill the opponent until he had a breath left, leaving it for his disciples to finish him off. The distance is too far. Xuan Qingqing looked at the big fire spirit hiding behind the monster team and shook her head helplessly. Her spells could not attack targets within that range. Master will help you. Xuan smiled and said, you should know the two super auxiliary skills of the elemental mage, right? You mean the big energy channeling technique and energy detonation technique. As an elemental mage, Xuan Qingqing didn't pay much attention to the practice of spells, but the basic theories and skills were still clear. The combination of the two skills with certain spells does have the possibility of attacking the big fire spirit, but the disciples can't do it. Just go ahead. Xuan said calmly, leave the rest to the master. As soon as the voice fell, an energy vortex appeared. This was the inspiration Xuan got from the elves. Although he didn't know how the elves accumulated energy into arrows, he could use another method instead. The strong energy fluctuations attracted the attention of Xuan and the others. At this time, Xuan and Xuan Qingqing stood together. They couldn't tell who was using the great energy guiding technique for a while, and they just felt that the master and apprentice were too powerful. This made the three of them in the Sun Realm feel very insignificant. Go! Xuan waved the staff in his hand, and the energy vortex turned into a long dragon, attacking the big fire spirit of the monster team. The long dragon danced, with lightning as scales, flames as whiskers, gold as horns, wood as claws, earth as body, water as tail, and the five elements gathered together, when it rushed to Xuan's vicinity. Detonate it! Xuan shouted. Xuan Qingqing chanted the spell, and when she formed the seal, the long dragon just rushed to the maximum casting distance she could reach. It was just enough to attack the snow mountain giant and the rock monster fighting with Xuan. Boom! The dragon roared and suddenly exploded. It blew open the skin of the snow mountain giant and the rock monster, greatly reducing the defense of the two monsters. The dragon head carried the five elements and flew towards the big fire spirit. Use the elements to ignite. Xuan ordered again. Element ignition is just a basic skill of the mage. The five major high-level mage professions all have it, and Xuan Qingqing has also practiced it more proficiently. The chanting speed is fast, and the maximum casting distance is farther. Boom! The dragon head just flew to the location of the big fire spirit, and the element ignition was activated, instantly detonating the five elements. The chaotic elemental energy intertwined and submerged the big fire spirit. The whole process, the connection of each spell is perfect. Not only did it kill the opponent's main output in seconds across the front row, but it also reduced the combat effectiveness of the front row. Xuan and the other two were shocked. Xuan Qingqing was also stunned. On the surface, she did all this, but in fact, she just followed the teacher's command and didn't spend any effort at all. With her mental power, just guiding such a large energy vortex is enough to exhaust her, not to mention adding the five elements, waving into a dragon, spell fusion, etc. The most important thing is that all these calculations are so exquisite, any mistake will not achieve such an effect. Too strong. Xuan Qingqing finally understood why senior brother Mu admired the teacher so much, because the teacher can conquer others in any aspect. He is a perfect man. Ding! Your disciple Xuan Qingqing killed the silver moon-level monster big fire spirit and gained a lot of experience points. Congratulations on triggering 1,000 times critical return. Your realm has been improved. The system prompt sounded. The starlight energy in Xuan's body surged. The bright starlight gathered and turned into a sea of stars. The bright moon rose above the sea. At first it was a crescent moon, and soon it turned into a half-moon shape. The starlight energy gathered into a sea, and the silver moon condensed, which was the sign of entering the silver moon realm. Teacher, have you achieved a breakthrough? Xianyuan Qingqing looked at Su Xian, a little confused. Didn't I kill the great fire spirit? I absorbed all its energy, and I didn't feel anything, so how come you achieved a breakthrough? When I was teaching you, I accidentally had an epiphany. Su Xian explained perfunctorily. Xianyuan Qingqing. Are you talking like a human? Others have a very small chance of achieving an epiphany after being taught by a teacher. You, on the other hand, have taught your students but they didn't achieve an epiphany, but you achieved an epiphany yourself. What's the point? Chapter 53, Don't Go Wandering. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The battle continues. There are still 6 members of the monster team alive. The situation has reversed. Xianyuan Qingqing killed the main output of the monster team through the front row, and the 2 goblin centurions were scared. If there is one, there will be 2, maybe they will be the next to be killed. Su Xian was in the back. As the big fire spirit was killed, the snow mountain giant and the rock monster were injured, the morale of the monster team was low, and the opponent was a chicken and a dog in his eyes. Qingqing, continue. Su Xian's eyes fell on the 2 goblin centurions. At this time, Yan Yuer was shooting at the 2 goblin centurions. However, Xia Qing's defense was impeccable, and the rock monster also blocked Yan Yuer's attack, and neither side could do anything to the other. Master will teach you a cooler move, watch out. Su Xian smiled and walked to Yan Yuer. Yuer, lend me your cannon. Yan Yuer was confused, how to use it. Fire. Su Xian said, prepare a 3-shot shell, load oil shells, thunder bombs, and flame shells respectively. Will it work? Yan Yuer expressed doubts. As a gunner, he naturally knew the superposition effect of the 3 shells, but the oil shells themselves had no lethality, and the snow mountain giant could easily extinguish them. Trust me. Su Xian said solemnly. Okay. In view of the extraordinary performance of Su Xian and Xianyuan Qingqing, she still believed in Su Xian very much, even though he was just a nanny, but he was also the strongest nanny she had ever seen. 3 shells were loaded. Su Xian held the staff, and the wood element energy gathered around him. He was promoted to the Silver Moon realm, and he also wanted to stretch his muscles. Wood element. Growing like crazy. As Su Xian chanted, large tracts of trees grew wildly from the ground behind the monster team, forming a small forest in the blink of an eye. He waved his staff again. Light element. Energy is scorching. Above the forest, wood element and light element intertwined and continued to rise, and the energy particles in that area turned into a wonderful state. Yan Yuer was confused. Old Su, I remember you are a nanny, right? Yes. Su Xian said seriously, aren't light element and wood element what nannies must master? As a nanny, it's not too much for me to know self-defense. Too damned much. Yan Yuer smiled crookedly, I can lie down, but you insist on letting me go. Stop talking nonsense, fire. Su Xian pointed at the 2 goblin centurions in the distance. Yan Yuer held the cannon and fired 3 shots in a row. The oil bomb was fired first. The snow mountain monster wanted to catch it, but his hands and feet were entangled by 2 wooden vines. The oil bomb passed over his head and crashed into the forest behind him, breaking with a bang. The oil fell all over the sky, and the thunder bomb followed closely, completely igniting the light and wood elements that were already in an extremely active state. Finally, the fire bomb spread the power of the explosion to the maximum. The 2 goblin centurions were trapped by Su Xian's wood technique and could not escape at all. Until they were about to die, several monsters in the monster team realized that the previous battles were just minor fights, and the most powerful one was the opposite nurse. Humans are really despicable, dirty, shameless, insidious and cunning people. Boom! The sky was full of rosy clouds, the elements danced, and the most brilliant fireworks were set off. Su Xian stood with his hands behind his back and nodded with satisfaction. Qingqing, is this move of yours cool? It's so cool. Have you learned it? It's useless. It's useless. Xianyuan Qingqing was full of questions. You really dare to teach me? How the hell can I learn this? Learn slowly. Su Xian just broke through the Silver Moon realm to try his hand. He didn't expect that he made a big noise. Others grew a few trees, but he accidentally created a forest. This can't happen again, otherwise, teammates and apprentices will want to win easily, so he will have to work hard. It's not worth it. Qingqing, go and kill those 2 goblins. Su Xian pointed to the ruins not far away. Are they still alive? Xianyuan Qingqing was surprised. No. Su Xian smiled and said, I use some of the lightwood elements to extend their lives, waiting for you to kill them. Go and deal with the opposite nurse. Su Xian issued a series of instructions. I will cooperate with Xia Qing and Zhen Lang to get rid of the Headless Knight, the Snow Mountain Monster and the Rock Monster. Yes, teacher. Okay, boss. Yan Yuer and Xianyuan Qingqing took the order and ran straight to the back. Su Xian went towards Zhen Lang. Seeing Su Xian coming, Zhen Lang breathed a sigh of relief. Old Su, you hit too deep. If I had known, I would not pretend to be steady. With you here, I will fly wildly. Zhen Lang wanted to let himself go. Get rid of the Headless Knight first. Su Xian smiled and said, remember, don't be reckless when the wind is favorable. The team we met is not too strong. Okay. Zhen Lang responded and rushed towards the Headless Knight again, this time completely letting go, although the Headless Knight has no head, but the moment he felt Su Xian's breath, he had lost his will to fight. He cursed in his heart that he was fooled. There is a monster on the opposite side, how to fight? At this time, Xianyuan Qingqing had already touched the back and easily solved the 2 goblin centurions. Ding, your disciple killed 2 silver moon level goblins and gained a lot of experience points. Congratulations on triggering a 5,000-fold critical return, and your realm has been greatly improved. System prompt sounded. Su Xian felt the sea of stars surging in his body, and the bright moon on the water gradually became full, approaching a full moon. The full moon state represents the peak of the silver moon realm. Su Xian was a little stunned, almost breaking through. How come it's so fast? Then why did it take so long to break through from the starry realm? Su Xian couldn't figure it out, and could only attribute it to the problem of his special physique. Perhaps this time the Silver Moon realm breakthrough would not be too simple, but there's no need to worry too much. Anyway, he is stronger than others whether he breaks through or not. As long as he is strong, it's all. Leave cultivation and breakthrough to the disciples and the system, and lying down and enjoying retirement is his life goal. 10 minutes later, the battle ended. The monster team was completely wiped out. Xianyuan Qingqing obtained the experience energy of 3 silver moon level monsters, and Yan Yuer obtained 1, Xia Qing obtained the experience energy of a sun-level monster, and Zhen Lang obtained 2, Su Xian didn't have any. The team members were very touched. It was rare to find such a strong and selfless teammate. It was their luck to meet Su Xian. Old Xia, install the defense crystal. After dealing with the monster team, the most important task was to occupy the base and then collect treasures near the base. If you are lucky, you may be able to pick up a super treasure. Chapter 54. I'm sorry, I'm too steady. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Xia Qing took out the defense crystal tower from the space ring and installed it above the gap where the chaotic energy overflowed. The crystal is made of special materials and has only one energy source to activate it, which is the chaotic energy in the world channel. After the chaotic energy is purified by the defense crystal, it can be converted into an extremely powerful energy projectile with great power and extremely fast firing rate. It also retains the characteristics of chaotic energy, and is particularly lethal to creatures in both worlds. The defensive crystal tower is installed. The next step is to search for treasures. Lao Su, Qingqing, you choose first. Xia Qing, Yan Yuer, and Zhen Lang consciously gave up the priority to Su Xian and Xianyuan Qingqing. Su Xian was not polite either. He sensed for a moment that the chaotic energy in the due north area was undoubtedly the strongest, and there might be some good treasures there. I'll choose the true north area, and Qingqing will choose the northeast area. By the way, he also helped his apprentice make a choice. The other 3 people also divided their areas. According to the rules, all the income in the area belongs to themselves. Su Xian took out a shovel from the space ring and started digging for treasure. He has an extremely clear perception of chaotic energy, and he picks out where the energy is most concentrated and shovels it down. Puff. Chaos energy gushes out like a fountain. The other 4 people all looked at Su Xian. Could it be that the product would be shipped as soon as the shovel was pushed down? Wait for the energy to dissipate. Su Xian looked underground and saw a colorful stone covered in dust. He didn't know what it was made of. No matter, pick it up first and then talk about it. Su Xian put the colorful stones into the ring space and continued digging. Bang! Another shovel, and chaotic energy spurted out again. This time it was an unknown piece of metal. Damn it, Lao Su, did you turn on the X-ray device? Xia Qing's eyes widened with envy on his face. Why did Lao Su bring down 2 treasures with 2 shovels, while he dropped 2 cups of lust with 2 shovels? Boss Su, can you give me some guidance? I'll give you half of what I dig out, or if you ask for other conditions, I'll try to satisfy you. Please help me. Upon seeing this, Yan Yue directly asked Su Xian for help. No matter how stupid she is, she knows that Su Xian is by no means an ordinary professional. All his methods are too outrageous and completely beyond her knowledge. Wait a minute, Su Xian doesn't mind giving some guidance. He first quickly dug out all the treasures in his area. After a few operations, Xiao stunned Xia Qing and the others. All the treasures seemed to have been buried by Su Xian in advance, and they would be delivered with every shovelful shovel. After the digging was almost done, Su Xian came to Yan Yue's area. Here. He drew a circle on the ground with a shovel, and there. Yan Yue did as he was told. Sure enough, there is something for every shovelful. Seeing this, Zhen Lang and Xia Qing also agreed to share half of Su Xian's money, and both shipped the goods under Su Xian's guidance. Su Xian looked at the large amount of miscellaneous materials in the space ring and was too lazy to distinguish them, so he waved his hand. Qingqing, come here. What's wrong, teacher? Xianyuan Qingqing also obtained a lot of materials and was in a wonderful mood. This is for you. Su Xian took off the space ring. These are all the materials I just dug up. I am too lazy to sort them out, so I gave them all to you. What about you? Xianyuan Qingqing didn't dare to answer. Take it, it's all external possessions. Su Xian Dei said solemnly. I only have one wish as a teacher, that is, I hope that you, my disciples, will grow up quickly and one day be able to outshine others and surpass me. Thank you, teacher. Xianyuan Qingqing bowed and respectfully held the ring with both hands. Teacher, don't worry, I will definitely try my best to catch up with you. Ding, you gave your disciple Xianyuan Qingqing 3 fluorite stones, 5 lighthouse stones, 10 woodhouse stones, 6 pieces of elemental meteorite, 10 kilograms of fire slurry, and half a chaos stone. Congratulations on getting 200 times the critical hit return. You have obtained 600 fire stones, 1000 lighthouse stones, 2000 woodhouse stones, 100 chaos stones. A long system prompt sounded. Su Xian didn't even hear clearly what he got. Only one name piqued his interest, the chaos stone. This name is similar to his chaos body, so it might be useful. At this moment, the system sound sounded again. Host, please pay attention. The system's lucky value has reached the warning threshold. It is recommended that you urge your disciples to practice hard or find new disciples to increase your lucky value storage. I wish you a happy retirement. Su Xian was stunned. How did it reach the warning threshold? Could it be that something extraordinary was returned? At this time, Zhen Lang came up and said, Boss Su, I also want to be your disciple. Yan Yue joked, if possible, I would miss his wife. Xia Qing was the most shameless person and said directly, Dad Su, can I follow you in the future? Get out of here, everyone. Su Xian laughed and scolded, how come everyone is so shameless? That the treasure hunt is over. Su Xian set his sights on other unoccupied strongholds. Everyone, there are other strongholds that we need to occupy. Leave 2 people in the team and 3 rows of defensive crystal towers to guard the positions. The other 2 followed me to occupy other spots. Compared with guarding the defense tower, capturing other strongholds is obviously more dangerous, but the chance of obtaining treasures is also greater. I stayed. Xia Qing took the initiative to stand up. I'll stay too. As a gunner, Yan Yue would be in great danger if she was outnumbered if she was not effectively protected. so she simply gave up. Well, Su Xian nodded, then Qingqing, Zhenlang and I will go to other places. Let's go. After a little reorganization, the three of them quickly rushed to other strongholds. At this time, there were very few strongholds that had not been occupied. The large forces of the two worlds at the core strongholds were killing each other in a bloodbath. The overwhelming spells and energy bombs made the world channels tremble. The three of them swept across a distance of dozens of miles and finally found a stronghold that had not been occupied. Unfortunately, this stronghold was once again targeted by the monster team, and there were not just one, but two. One of the monster teams was full, with 7 monsters, the other team had only 4 monsters. Boss Su, shall we retreat? Zhenlang didn't dare to waste time at all. 3 to 11, how can we play? The other side has a Tianhe level. It's okay. Su Xian was least afraid of comparing numbers. He silently took out 2 Tianhe level combat puppets and activated them. Okay, now it's fair. Zhenlang. He looked at Su Xian for a long time with a doubtful look, and said helplessly, sorry, I'm too steady, I'm going to be reckless now. Zhenlang finally found out, old Su's trump cards are endless, and he can take out 2 Tianhe level combat puppets at a time. Is this the legendary financial crushing? Go. The 2 Tianhe level combat puppets went straight to the monster team. Zhenlang said oh and completely let himself go. Su Xian looked at the third brother, Qingqing, the rest is up to you to practice. You are a Silver Moon realm, and with my guidance, you should be able to practice a silver level secret technique. You are not allowed to use elemental spells, you can only use the electric therapy method to solve that monster. Yes, teacher. Xianyuan Qingqing was quite ashamed. Senior brother and Xiaoli had practiced the basic skills to perfection, and also received the new advanced skills or secrets taught by the teacher. She was the slowest. For this, the teacher also consumed 2 Tianhe level puppets and specially created such a good training environment for her. This time, she must not let the teacher down. Thunder and lightning filled the air and invaded her body. Xianyuan Qingqing rushed to the target, which was a Silver Moon level Ice Soul Tiger monster. Su Xian looked around, protecting Xianyuan Qingqing, while paying attention to the general trend of the core battlefield. Suddenly, the throbbing of blood came from his body. His eyes suddenly looked into the distance, where there were also 2 teams fighting, and the source of the throbbing was there. Chapter 55 Send you thousands of miles away. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Looking far away, locked on a dark figure, it was a dark elf, with long silver hair like a waterfall, dark skin, dark purple light armor, slender body, and agile steps. The dark elves are also elves, but they are born to be incompatible with other elves, and can be said to be enemies. The dark elves are good at hiding and assassinating, and are also one of the main war factions in the game world. They once caused a lot of trouble to Blue Star. On the dark elf, Su Xian felt a familiar breath, the breath of blood. His blood was only given to the elf Saint Etana. Why could a dark elf bring him the throbbing feeling of blood? Whoosh! The next second, Su Xian moved. Puff! Puff! 2 spiritual arrows shot out from Su Xian's ring and bracelet, first solving the 2 sun-level monsters to prevent the third brother from being attacked. He took out 2 sun-level puppets to protect the third brother. After ensuring the safety of the third brother's training environment, Su Xian ran to the battlefield where the dark elf was. Su Xian was wearing epic light armor and wind boots. With his full speed, most Tianhe realm warriors could only eat dust. He quickly arrived near the battlefield. Su Xian's arrival made both sides of the war alert. Anyone who dared to run around in the world channel alone was definitely not a good person. Brother, we don't need your help here, go somewhere else, that a person in the human team said to Su Xian, his eyes full of doubt. Every time there is a large-scale melee, there are always a few rebels who sneak in, take the opportunity to cause chaos, kill people and rob treasures. The person in front of him is likely to be a rebel. Su Xian first glanced at the human team, and then swept to the dark elf side. His eyes swept over and collided with the dark elf who made her feel the breath of blood. When he saw those eyes, Su Xian understood. Some things can be understood with just one look. The throbbing feeling deep in the blood can't be faked. The dark elf is Etana in disguise. As for why, the answer is obvious. Atana wants to use the identity of a dark elf to return to the game world and the eternal forest. Help again. Since they met, Xuan could not witness the elven saint who was originally an ally of the human race and the human race killing each other. If the elven saint died in the hands of the human race, it would likely cause chaos. Xuan had reasons to take action both privately and publicly. I'll help you, free of charge. Xuan grinned at the human team, and the 1,000-machine umbrella turned into a long sword, turned into a silver light, and went straight to the dark elf team. Damn it, a man in the human team cursed. Everyone, don't take action first, see what this person is going to do, and if there is any sign of betrayal, kill him first. Xuan didn't care about the attitude of the team. The rebels infiltrated everywhere, making people panic, and it was normal for the team to defend themselves when encountering strangers. The dark elves were panicked. The person in front of them was obviously only a silver moon realm, but the sense of oppression they gave them was extremely strong. Roar. The dragon roar sounded. Everyone only saw a sword thrust out, and 3 golden dragons flew and rushed into the dark elf team unstoppably. Is that the fierce dragon breaking the sky? Someone exclaimed. No, the fierce dragon breaking the sky only has 1 white dragon, and he turned into 3 golden dragons with 1 sword. The sword energy is vast and terrifying. The person who questioned Xuan before also said, this person is capable, he is really good. Help him quickly. With just 1 sword, the human team changed their mind. The dragon roared, making the dark elves very uncomfortable, and the main tank was seriously injured by Xuan's sword. In the previous sword, Xuan fused the fierce dragon breaking the sky with the mighty dragon, and at the same time absorbed the chaotic energy attached to the sword, which has extremely strong lethality. Seeing this, the 2 dark elf main attackers rushed towards Xuan at the same time. The other dark elves were blocked by the human team. The mind is like light, and the man and the sword are one. The sword in Xuan's hand shone with brilliant light. He swung the sword, and the shadow of the sword was blurred. It was so fast that the 2 dark elves could hardly block it. Every time the sword was swung, the sword light danced. The speed of swinging the sword became faster and faster, and in the end, the 2 dark elves could hardly see Xuan's sword. This move was called Phantom Sword Dance. They had seen people perform it before, but they had never seen such a fast and powerful sword. Every time the sword was swung, the power did not decrease, and it was even stronger than the previous one. Puff. After countless swords were swung, the 2 dark elves finally couldn't block Xuan's sword. They were pierced through the heart by a sword and fell down with hatred. 1 against 2, crushing. The other dark elves panicked. Retreat. Knowing that they had no chance of winning if they continued to fight, the dark elf captain gave an order and led the retreat, but how could the human team let them go? Xuan put away the sword, and the sword power gathered. The terrifying sword intent was gathering, and when it reached its peak, he suddenly drew his sword and slashed it in all directions, cutting off a dark elf that could not retreat in time. You occupy the point, I will chase. Xuan left a word and continued to chase the remaining dark elves. The human team looked at Xuan's departing back and shook their heads helplessly. Maybe this is the courage of the skilled, that they didn't know that Xuan didn't want to kill them all at all. He did this just to send Atana to the rear to prevent Atana from encountering other human teams. After chasing for a distance, Xuan killed 2 more dark elves. In order to prevent Atana from being questioned, he deliberately left the last dark elf for Atana as a witness. Looking at Atana running away in panic, Xuan felt that it was almost time. He put away his sword and prepared to evacuate, but he saw 3 monster teams coming to surround him not far away. He had already crossed the center line of the passage. Although he had not entered the enemy's hinterland, he was not far away. He could not fight here, otherwise more and more monsters would chase and intercept him. Xuan did not want to fight. The experience energy gained from killing a monster was too little. It was really a loss-making business to kill thousands of monsters to equal the apprentice killing one. It was still more cost-effective to run away. The 1,000-machine umbrella turned into wings, the wind boots controlled the wind, the light armor suit was fully activated, and by the way, he added a few speed buffs to himself. Swish. The first monster team that surrounded him only saw a flash of afterimage. The monsters were confused. Why are you running so fast? Wouldn't it be better to kill me and then run? At this moment, two Tianhe-level monsters appeared in front of Su Xian and blocked his way. He turned around immediately. Then, the monster was in a mess. I was just kidding. Did you really fly back? Puff. With a slash of his hand, Su Xian cut off the monster's head and continued to run. The situation was not good. The noise he made just now seemed too big. He flew around in other people's base camps and attracted the attention of many monsters. It seemed that he had gone too far. Looking at the monsters that kept coming, Su Xian narrowed his eyes, lightning overflowed from his pupils, and his body was gradually covered by lightning. Since we are going to play, let's play big, window, _tabula equals window, _tabula dot push, mode, thumbs, feed, 01, container, tabula below article feed, placement, below article feed, target _type, mix. Chapter 56 Why do you come back? You are listening at novelfull.audio. More and more monsters were surrounding him. Su Xian's eyes swept around, looking for the place where the chaotic energy was most concentrated. Finally, he locked onto a blood magic circle. He rushed towards the blood magic circle and landed beside it, not entering the attack range of the magic circle. At this time, there were hundreds of monsters rushing towards him, almost blocking all directions. Su Xian supported the ground with one hand, and released a stream of fish transformed from lightning from his palm, which drilled into the ground. The ground gradually turned into an illusory and ethereal light blue, like an ocean in a dream, with fish leaping in it. The Sea of Thunder was obviously full of danger, but it looked so beautiful. More. The Sea of Thunder continued to expand, and Su Xian had already felt the surging chaotic energy underground, just waiting for the monsters to enter the attack range. Suddenly, the throbbing feeling deep in the blood came again. Su Xian looked up and saw that the dark elf disguised as a Tana turned back and ran towards him. This fool, Su Xian sighed. He had worked so hard to catch so many big fish, and was about to have a good harvest, but a silly elf jumped into the fishing net first and bit the hook without hesitation. Seeing Atana's sad and reluctant expression, she probably thought that he was trapped in the siege for saving her. Swish. Su Xian raised his hand and suddenly slashed out a sword energy, forcing Atana to stop, after being stopped by a sword. Su Xian. Atana looked at the peerless hero with one hand on the ground with tears in her eyes, and she was heartbroken. She murmured, "You are in danger, how can I just leave? If you die here, I will accompany you to the underworld. It's over." Su Xian thought to himself that it was not good. Looking at Atana's expression, this silly elf seemed to have misunderstood his meaning. "Can I ask you to leave quickly? Are you playing farewell my concubine here?" Alas, Su Xian sighed again, and violent chaotic energy poured into his body, chanting a spell. Wood element, bind, .2 vines stretched out from the ground and tied up Atana. Wood element, would escape. The vines dragged Atana directly into the ground and fled to the distance. On the way, they turned into a whip and hit the stupid elf several times. That was also unavoidable. If you want to get into the enemy's interior, the self-torture strategy is a necessary step. At this time, there were already hundreds of monsters entering the range of the Sea of Thunder. The last few had killed in front of him, baring their teeth and rushing towards him. Su Xian pulled his hand out of the ground, sitting cross-legged, his hands clasped together, his eyes closed. The lightning turned into two long and narrow lines that dragged out from the corners of his eyes. The Sea of Thunder under him was violent, and the beautiful swimming fish turned into dragons. At the edge of the range, one lightning pillar after another fell, blocking all retreat routes. The dragon went out to sea and circled in the sky. At this moment, Su Xian was like a god. With him as the center, the 10-mile radius turned into a Sea of Thunder. The monster rushed over, clawing at Su Xian's head. Just when there was a gap of 10 inches, a thunderbolt fell from the sky, and the claws reaching out to Su Xian fell down powerlessly, buried in the Sea of Thunder. Su Xian suddenly opened his eyes. In an instant, surging chaotic energy overflowed from the ground. The Sea of Thunder churned, and the thunder pillars fell densely. This is the Thunder Hell. This is the prison of the gods. Secret technique. 10,000 thunders. Heavenly prison lead. The sky was full of flashing thunder. It was a prison that the monsters could not escape. Destroyed with withered and rotten, and turned to ashes, 10 miles of land is nothing in the vast World Channel battlefield, but the thunder prison that soared into the sky is enough to attract everyone's attention. Even the two large armies fighting in the core battlefield looked in the direction of Xuan. What's going on? Did any of the hidden marquises take action? Such a strong energy fluctuation, what happened to the monster camp? It's so terrifying. I took a deep breath. Everyone was amazed by the thunder prison that was soaring into the sky. Only Xuan Qingqing, who had just completed the task assigned by Xuan and solved the monster, felt a sense of familiarity in her heart. After a long time, she reacted. That noise just now, couldn't it be caused by the teacher? That she thought it was very likely. After all, the eldest brother said that the master's strength depends entirely on the imagination of the disciples. It's not the first time that the teacher has done something that violates common sense. It's stupid to measure the teacher with common sense. Is this what the teacher said he would teach me? This is so cool. Xuan Qingqing was full of imagination. When I become a marquis in the future, I have to use it to electrocute a king-level creature. Wonderful. So wonderful. Zhenlang came over and couldn't help asking, Qingqing, you said that the one who set the thunder was Lao Su? Yes. Xuan Qingqing nodded. Isn't Lao Su a nanny? Zhenlang was dumbfounded. I can tolerate you saying he is proficient in wood and light elements, but what's the matter with this terrifying thunder prison? Xuan Qingqing looked at him and said with a smile, you know my teacher is pretending, why are you asking even though you know the answer? I didn't lie to you, think about it, aren't nannies supposed to protect teammates? What's the best way to protect teammates? Of course, it's to kill all the opponents. Zhenlang. Very reasonable. I can't refute it. I finally got a chance to be wild, but he told me to be steady. The more Zhenlang thought about it, the angrier he became. In the end, he flew into the air and went directly over the defense tower to demolish other people's homes. Blanche. The thunder prison gradually dispersed. A large wave of experience energy poured into Xuan's body. It's of no use, it seems to be extremely powerful, destroying the world and killing countless enemies. But it is not as much as the disciple can return after killing one. What a loss. Xuan stretched and his bones creaked. Although he is the prototype of the chaotic body, there are still some side effects in using such turbulent chaotic energy. The side effect was that his bones were numb and itchy due to the electricity. Keep running. Xuan dispersed the thunder around him, activated his escape suit, and flew back. Seeing Su Xuanfei coming, the monsters panicked. The monster is coming, everyone run. Then how come the human monster acts like a normal person after unleashing the forbidden spell? Shouldn't he be unable to move and then paralyzed for life? This is completely different from the mages I have seen before. This child is too evil and must not be released to Blue Star. You idiot, if you can't put Blue Star back, you should stop him. The monsters flew back when they saw Xuan, and each one of them hid in the blood magic circle and looked fierce, staring at Xuan as they watched him leave. In this way, Xuan returned to the human stronghold safely. Teacher. Xuan Qingqing jumped up to Xuan. Did you release that huge thunder and lightning prison just now? Xuan nodded. I am exhausted as a teacher. Xuan Qingqing raised her eyebrows and took a look at Xuan's hairstyle. The hairstyle turned out to be a bit upturned. The teacher really helped a lot. After a few words of greeting, Xuan asked, how is your practice of electrotherapy? You'll know after you try it. Xuan Qingqing laughed playfully and poked Xuan's back with his fingers, causing a thin current to flow into his body. One word, comfortable. Ding, your disciple Xuan Qingqing has perfected the electrotherapy method. Congratulations to the host, your 3 disciples have completed the practice of basic techniques, and your life plan has taken another big step forward. Congratulations on triggering a 9,999 times critical hit return. You have received a mentor advancement gift package. Window _tabula equals window _tabula push mode thumbs feed 01 container tabula below article feed placement below article feed target _type mix. Chapter 57 Advanced Mentor. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Would you like to open the Mentor Advanced Gift Package? Open the system quickly. Do you still want to retire? The Tutor Advanced Gift Package has been opened. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the gradeless technique, and complaining about the star. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the ungraded secret technique, the Great Astrolabe. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the ungraded mind method, the Supreme Meditation Mantra. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the ungraded skill, the Law of Heaven and Earth. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the Hand of the Divine Mentor. This technique can help the disciple implant the suitable physique, bloodline, and bones, making your disciple stronger on the original basis. Xuan silently checked the contents of the advanced gift package. 2 different points emerged this time. There is no grade or mentality. According to his understanding, the so-called gradeless technique means that this skill or secret technique will grow according to the growth of the owner. You can count such techniques all over Blue Star with your fingers. Second, the mind, its origin is also mysterious. Only some forces belonging to the Dragon Kingdom's unique profession, Qi practitioners, have the inheritance of mental techniques, but what Xuan cares about the most is the last skill, the Hand of the Divine Mentor. The eyes of a divine mentor can help him examine his roots, understanding, character, and compatibility, and find the most suitable disciple at the lowest cost. The hands of a divine mentor can even help his disciples transplant their physique, blood, and bones, which is very impressive. Is this asking him to hunt other geniuses to help his disciples improve? Xuan would definitely not do that kind of thing. But, if he encounters someone who has no foresight, or meets a genius from the gaming world, he really doesn't mind trying the taste of hunting. Teacher, how do you feel? Xuan Qingqing saw the smile on Xuan's face and thought it was her electrotherapy that made the teacher intoxicated. Very nice. Xuan nodded in approval. He looked at Xuan Qingqing, the eyes of the divine mentor opened, and the data appeared. Root bone value, 110. Comprehension value, 130. Character value, 91. Suitable for physique or bloodline. The degree of compatibility with the 10,000 poison body is 90%, as expected. Another new data appeared. It's just that Xuan doesn't know where the 10,000 poison body that Lao Sen needs is available, so he can only put it aside for the time being. The most important task at the moment is to continue to seize the points. This is the second stronghold they occupied. Xuan looked at Zhenlang. Lang, please guard this place. I will take Qingqing to seize other strongholds. Okay, boss. Zhenlang knew who the Thai was, so he patted his chest and promised, don't worry, I will definitely guard this place. I am here and the tower is here. Xuan nodded, without saying much, and took Xuan Qingqing to the distance, looking for a new stronghold. At this time, the battle in the passage has entered a fever pitch. There are basically no strongholds that have not been captured. If you want to capture the third stronghold, you can only look for those that have been occupied but have fewer defending monsters. After searching around, Xuan finally locked the target. In that blood magic circle, there was only one silver moon level and one sun level monster defending it, making it a relatively easy stronghold to capture. Qingqing, get ready to take action. Xuan felt itchy in his heart. The sea of stars and silver moon in his body had already condensed and completed. One more return should be enough to break through. Teacher, should we rush into the blood magic circle directly? Xuan Qingqing said. Just charge, I will take care of the blood array. Xuan has never taken this thing seriously. The blood magic circle is similar to the defensive crystal, both can induce chaotic energy to attack, and are extremely lethal, but this extremely powerful one is aimed at ordinary people, not including Xuan. If Xuan wanted to, he could turn into a mobile defense tower at any time, but there was no need. The 10,000 Thunder Heavenly Lao Yin, released in the monster camp, was created with the help of chaotic energy in the ground. It is difficult to achieve that level with his own strength alone. Then I'll rush. Xuan Qingqing's trust in Xuan has been deeply rooted in her bones, not to mention the blood magic formation, even the blood sea formation in the core battlefield. As long as the teacher shouted, she would still dare to charge. In the blood magic circle, the two monsters were a little surprised when they saw a human dare to break into the magic circle. Have these two people lost their minds? Aha! The magic circle was activated, and energy balls were shot towards the two of them. Su Xian walked in front of Xianyuan Qingqing and punched out, smashing the energy ball into pieces. What's going on? Thought the monster was a little confused. Why was the chaotic energy ball emitted by the magic circle shattered? Isn't this person afraid of the characteristics of chaotic energy? While the two monsters were stunned, Xianyuan Qingqing had already started chanting a spell. Element of fire, dancing fire phoenix. That the huge flaming phoenix flew out with long fire feathers, and its scorching energy went straight towards the two monsters. Thunder curse, thunder explosion. That at the same time, groups of thunder and lightning gathered around the two monsters and exploded. The two monsters didn't care to study Su Xian and could only rush forward. Su Xian took a step forward. Use an unpretentious slide tackle. The eyes of the two monsters went dark as something flew past. Then their feet slipped and their bodies flew upwards, landing right in the mouth of the fire phoenix. Compared to the pain of being burned by the flames, what made the two monsters more uncomfortable was the humiliation. They can't stop the basic skill of sliding tackle. Fire spell, big fireball. Taking advantage of this opportunity, Xianyuan Qingqing connected with a spell, and two huge fireballs fell. The two monsters just stabilized their bodies and wanted to escape, but Su Xian came to their position without knowing when. Bang! Bang! With two kicks, the bodies of the two monsters could not help but be forced to meet the falling fireballs, still facing up. Boom! The fireball exploded right next to their faces. Xianyuan Qingqing sighed helplessly. It was another experience pack that the teacher stuffed into his mouth, which was boring. Ding! Your disciple Xianyuan Qingqing killed a silver moon-level monster and gained experience points. Congratulations on triggering 1,000 times critical strike return, and your realm has been improved. Ding! Your disciple killed a day-level monster above the level and gained a lot of experience points. Congratulations on triggering 1,000 times critical strike return, and your realm has been greatly improved. The return was received. The sea of stars in Su Xian's body surged again, and the silver moon on the sea gradually condensed into a perfect state. Is it going to break through? Su Xian felt it carefully. However, there was no sign of a breakthrough, and the bright sea of stars suddenly dimmed and turned red. There was a second moon forming on the sea. It was a red moon. Chapter 58 The Power of the Red Moon. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Red moon, it emits a strange light. The scarlet sea of stars is boiling and gurgling, like blood being cooked. Feeling the changes in his body, Su Xian is a little confused. Shouldn't the sun realm be reached after the silver moon is complete? Why is there a second moon on his own sea of stars? It is also a red moon that reveals weirdness and ominousness. Su Xian tried to absorb the light of the red moon, and the violent power of the red moon entered his blood and limbs. It was a power far more terrifying than the ordinary silver moon realm. Teacher, what's wrong with you? Xianyuan Qingqing inexplicably felt that Su Xian beside him was a little scary. The peaceful temperament of the past disappeared, replaced by an ominous and weird breath. It's okay. Su Xian shook his head and dispersed the power of the red moon he had just absorbed. He didn't know where the red moon came from. Perhaps there is some connection with the world channel. At present, the power of the red moon will only give him a strong increase, and there is not much harm. The only impact is that when using this power, his temperament will change. After all, even the third brother can feel it. You go install the crystal. Su Xian asked Xianyuan Qingqing to install the defense crystal, and his eyes were cast towards the core battlefield in the distance. There were bursts of killing sounds there, and the two large armies were fighting in the dark. The battle seemed to have been pushed to a climax, but Su Xian knew that the real decisive battle had not yet begun. The commander of the human race, Nutian Ho, and the commander of the monster side, Hellhound, were still in a standoff, and it would take a while to tell the winner. Before, he heard Xianyuan Dali say that the game world would send 4 marquee-level monsters into the world channel, but there is no movement now. Is the news false? Or are both sides waiting for something? Teacher, the defense crystal is installed. Xianyuan Qingqing installed the third defense crystal, and the team's mission was successfully completed. Su Xian nodded, and dropped a sun-level combat doll and a double row of defense towers. Let's go, let's continue to capture other strongholds. He naturally didn't have time to stay here all the time. The monsters were scattered in various strongholds, and it was the best time to defeat them one by one. Taking this opportunity, he could also study the reason for the birth of the Red Moon. The master and apprentice left and soon found the next stronghold. This stronghold has 2 sun-level monsters and 1 silver moon-level monster. Go! Su Xian did not sneak attack, but flew out openly and went straight to the 3 monsters, while Xuan Qingqing hid behind the teacher and output crazily, relying on the power of Silver Moon and Star Sea alone. Su Xian was able to crush most of the sun-level monsters. He absorbed some of the power of the Red Moon. A touch of scarlet flashed in his eyes, feeling the change in Su Xian's breath. The 3 monsters' faces changed drastically, as if they saw something terrifying, trembling all over, and turned and ran. Su Xian held the sword, the strange power of blood and qi attached to the sword. Swish! A flash of red light, a sword cut through. The 3 monsters were killed instantly, and their heads fell to the ground. What surprised Su Xian was that after the 3 monsters died, their blood was completely absorbed by the Qianji sword, or rather, it was absorbed by the power of the Red Moon attached to the sword. Teacher! Xuan Qingqing covered her mouth. The sword just now was obviously not aimed at her, but the strong killing intent scared her. She had never seen the teacher use such evil power. Su Xian also felt that once he absorbed the power of the Red Moon to fight the enemy, the murderous aura on his body would increase exponentially, and once the power of the Red Moon was dissipated, the murderous aura would disappear without a trace. Qingqing, don't be afraid. Su Xian comforted, this kind of power can't affect the teacher's character. For the teacher, no matter how evil it is just a power that can be controlled. Hearing Su Xian's tone, Xuan Qingqing breathed a sigh of relief. Familiar style, it's the teacher for sure. Looking at it this way, the teacher who exudes a weird red power seems to have a different kind of handsomeness. Su Xian walked towards the blood magic circle, fiddled with it for a few times, first destroyed the array base of the magic circle, and then squatted on the ground to carefully study it. He inserted the 1000 machine sword with the power of the Red Moon into the center of the blood magic circle. The blood in the blood magic circle was actually absorbed by the 1000 machine sword. Can it be like this? Su Xian's eyes lit up. He looked at the monster base in the distance, and the rows of blood magic circles were like fat experience packs, waiting for him to absorb. This also proves that the appearance of the Red Moon is related to the monsters in the game world. In this case, he was not polite, he absorbed the blood, and the disciples absorbed the experience energy, making use of waste. Not wasting any resources. Perfect. The master and apprentice continued to move forward and soon found another stronghold. When the 2 of them appeared in the monster's field of vision, the monsters were inexplicably a little flustered. Brother Nyo, there is something wrong with these 2 humans. That look is similar to when we see delicious food. They are coming. Quickly activate the magic circle. Whoosh! 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 The energy ball shot towards Su Xian and Xuan Qingqing. Su Xian gently waved the Qianji sword in his hand, and a sword flower was drawn. Go! The blood-red sword flower swept across, easily swallowing the energy ball shot out from the magic circle, and rushed towards the monsters guarding the magic circle with undiminished power. Xuan Qingqing had also finished chanting, and a large number of elemental spells were smashed down. A sword hit hard. Spell harvest, the same ending. Several monsters were defeated without any chance to fight back. Xuan Qingqing was promoted, and Su Xian used the Qianji sword to absorb the blood array and the blood power of the monsters. In this way, the master and apprentice moved forward. They took down a stronghold, weakening the strength of the monster camp while getting closer and closer to the central battlefield. 5 hours later, the master and apprentice took down the 18th blood array. Their crazy behavior finally attracted the attention of the monster camp. Zhu, have you heard? 2 monsters appeared on the human side. Are you talking about the 2 ruthless people who specialize in sneak attacks and have successively wiped out our 18 strongholds? Yes, because of the existence of these 2 people, we are panicked and can't feel at ease staying in the blood magic circle. Those 2 people must have practiced some special secret specifically for the blood magic circle. Don't panic, everyone. This situation has happened before. The big guys here will take action soon. A tree that stands out in the forest will be destroyed by the wind. Those two guys won't be able to jump for long. The 19th one, done. After absorbing the experience energy of the two monsters again, Xuan Qingqing smiled with satisfaction. She could feel that the silver moon in her body was about to be full. It won't be long before she can break through the sun realm. In addition to the improvement of her realm, what made her even happier was that she had harvested countless precious alchemical materials along the way, and half of the space ring was filled with them. The teacher gave her all the resources he got selflessly. She decided that after returning this time, she must research more useful alchemy potions to honor her teacher. Teacher, are we going to the next base? After collecting the spoils, Xuan Qingqing happily prepared to rush to the next stop, but turned around and saw that her teacher's expression suddenly became very solemn. Qingqing, retreat. Su Xian shouted, and the Qianji sword in his hand turned into a staff, standing on the ground with a thud. Wood curse, thousand hands wall. The thick trees rose from the ground and turned into a wooden wall, and thousands of wooden vines turned into big hands and grabbed forward. Among the thousand hands, the space was torn apart, and a huge black dragon head drilled out from the space crack. Chapter 59. He was anxious. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Roar. The black dragon head roared, and in an instant, the sky was dark and the wind was strong. The black wind swept and crushed the wooden vine thousand hands in an instant. It was not until this time that Su Xian saw the true face of the enemy. It was a black dragon with a body of hundreds of meters. Its huge dark yellow pupils stared at Su Xian with hatred. A sub-dragon of the level of a marquis. Su Xian narrowed his eyes. He thought that the monster camp would target him, but he didn't expect that it was a sub-dragon of the level of a marquis. It seems that this sub-dragon has been hiding in the world channel, but I don't know why it has only appeared now. It also looks unwilling. This war is indeed not as simple as it seems. I am afraid that there is more than one marquis hidden in this world channel. They may be playing in another battlefield that he can't see. Su Xian did not hesitate at all, and the power of the red moon in his body burst out, the scarlet blood power attached to the wooden wall, and then he ran away. Now he still lacked effective means of killing the Feng Ho, especially the thick-skinned creatures like the sub-dragons. There was no need to fight head-on, just delaying time was enough. The black wind sub-dragon shook its wings, and the wind whistled, trying to destroy the thousand-hand wooden wall, but found that the wall was solid and blocked the black wind he sent out. The scarlet weird power on the wall actually made it feel a little threatened. Weird human, that the black wind sub-dragon was murderous, with its wings spread, and its claws suddenly grabbed, directly crushing the thousand-hand wooden wall, and chasing Su Xian wildly. The distance between the two was constantly shortened. The full epic set does have an advantage below the Feng Ho level, but facing the real Feng Ho, both the speed and strength are a little worse. If you run like this, you will be caught up sooner or later. Aren't the hidden Feng House in Dinghai King City coming out yet? Su Xian wanted to curse in his heart. Do you want me to perform the 10,000 Thunders prison again? In this world channel, Su Xian's biggest reliance is the chaotic energy that other professionals and monsters avoid. With the help of the Shueiyue Jade Pendant and the endless chaotic energy, he thought he might be able to fight the big black bat. Suddenly, Su Xian had an idea. It's not worth it to fight for life. He had an idea in his mind, changed direction, and flew towards the edge of the world channel. The black wind dragon became more and more angry. He was a sub-dragon who was good at flying. How could he chase a human in the Silver Moon realm for so long? How can there be such a fast-running Silver Moon realm? At that moment, the black wind dragon felt that his cognition of humans had become unfamiliar. All along the way, he didn't see the speed-up buff on the human disappear, as if this person didn't need any consumption. The chase between one man and one dragon also attracted the attention of other people on the battlefield, but no one dared to support Su Xian. The gap between those below the marquis and the real marquis is too big, and it can't be made up by simply relying on numbers. They can only hope that the marquis of the human race will appear soon. Otherwise, if the person being hunted dies, they will be the next to suffer. Soon. Su Xian felt the breath behind him getting closer and closer, and counted silently in his heart. At his speed, He should be able to reach the edge of the world channel before the black dragon catches up with him. The edge of the world channel is the most unstable and dangerous place in the entire world channel. There is only broken land and chaotic energy that is so dense that it has turned into liquid. Once ordinary professionals and monsters enter here, they will have difficulty breathing normally. Inhaling a mouthful of liquid chaotic energy will cause serious damage to their internal organs. Su Xian finally flew to the edge, plopped into the sea of chaotic energy, and raised his middle finger to the black wind dragon that followed closely. Come here. Big black bat. Simple movements, simple words. The black wind dragon almost broke through the defense. He looked at the surging sea of chaotic energy and hesitated for a while. He was not a brainless dragon. In such a dangerous place, even a marquis might capsize in the gutter. It was this human that made him even more curious. Not only did he possess the strange scarlet power, but he could also swim in the sea of chaotic energy. He must have a big secret hidden in him. If he could get the secret of this human, perhaps his strength would be greatly increased. Go or not, that the dark yellow eyes of the black wind dragon were full of hesitation. Seeing this, Su Xian began to show all kinds of fancy swimming skills in the sea of chaotic energy. That's right. Su Xian thought of something more interesting. He remembered that there was a strange skill in the mentor's advanced gift package, called Tutsao Starman. He comprehended for a moment. Tutsao Starman, a non-grade skill, was created by a mysterious and powerful person without a name. Practicing this skill can create a special life field that others cannot see. All creatures that are emotionally fluctuated by you in this life field will provide you with a special energy. After seeing the introduction of practicing Tutsao Starman, Su Xian understood, if you want to practice this, you must meet two conditions. The first is to be thick-skinned, and the second is to be able to withstand beatings. Otherwise, you may be beaten to death during the practice. No matter what, let's try it first. Hey, big black bat, why don't you come down? Su Xian looked at the black wind dragon provocatively. I have to say, this energy sea is quite comfortable, very suitable for taking a bath. Human, I want to see how long you can hold on. Black wind dragon didn't dare to take risks. The more Su Xian provoked him, the more he felt that there was something fishy going on. Soon, a special energy immediately flowed into Su Xian's body. Interesting. Su Xian savored it carefully. Although this thing didn't improve him much, if he found a disciple with a mean personality, thick skin, and the ability to take a beating, wouldn't his realm rise? Alas! Su Xian took out some food from the space ring. Since you like to fight, I'll fight with you. Anyway, I'm still young. Big black bat, what do you think of this roasted dragon leg? It's fragrant and crispy. Maybe it's your relative. And this dragon egg, roast it with the egg membrane. It tastes so crispy. This charcoal grilled dragon wing is even better. It can't fit on two grills. The anger on Black Wind Dragon's body became more and more intense. Su Xian's realm slowly rose. Finally, Black Wind Dragon couldn't help it and rushed towards Su Xian. Su Xian laughed happily. Oh my, the big black bat is angry and anxious. Then he quickly disappeared into the sea. I'll go in first, wash yourself clean and come after me. Chapter 60. Back to the starting point. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Despicable and dirty human. Poof. The Black Wind Dragon rushed into the chaotic energy sea, stirring up a large area of energy liquid. The chaotic particles contained in the liquid chaotic energy were very dense, and they sizzled on the body of the Black Wind Dragon. The Black Wind Dragon had to expand the domain to avoid erosion, but when the domain was expanded, his power was extremely consumed, and he did not dare to absorb the energy containing the chaotic power to replenish it, which made him very uncomfortable. He looked at the hateful human. The guy was not affected at all, but was like a fish in water, and he swam in various ways, which made him angry. He was still talking about the air dragon. Big black bat, come and catch me. Why are you so slow? Don't say it, this energy sea is quite comfortable, it feels like I'm back home. The cute chaotic particles are as obedient as a baby, I like it here very much. Su Xian swam while angering the Black Wind Dragon. The latter was indeed very angry, but the reason he chased Su Xian was not because of anger. As a powerful person with a title of nobility, it was very easy to suppress anger and keep rationality. What he cared about was the mysterious power in Su Xian, and he wanted to get this power. The strangeness shown by Su Xian was worth the risk. The two worlds had been fighting for 500 years. Except for the powerful people with the title of nobility, no creature could ignore the chaotic energy, let alone go deep into the liquid energy sea. Ordinary Silver Moon realm dared to enter the liquid energy sea and would have been strangled by the terrifying chaotic power. He was eager to unravel the secret of Su Xian. Su Xian naturally knew the mind of the Black Wind Dragon. In a head-on battle, he really couldn't do anything to the Black Wind Dragon, but when he got here, it was not certain who would win or lose. One man and one dragon chased deeper and deeper. After reaching a certain depth, Su Xian also began to feel pressure. Even though the chaotic particles could not hurt him, the density of the energy liquid was too large, and the water pressure on the bottom of the sea was too strong to oppress his body, so he had to slow down. Su Xian was uncomfortable. Black Wind Dragon was in even worse condition. His wind elemental attack, which he was good at, was greatly reduced here, and the chaotic particles were eroding him all the time, consuming more than 10 times that of Su Xian, but Black Wind Dragon was not afraid. He had enough strength to win this battle. He only needed to hit the human head-on once to kill him. Su Xian also knew his own weakness. Even if he had the advantage of time, place and people, it was still difficult to make up for the gap in realm. He only had one chance to attack closely. Once he failed, it would be dangerous. Come on, Su Xian put away his smile, and lightning filled his body. Chaotic energy was endless, and the 10,000 Thunder Prison attraction was undoubtedly the most powerful move in his hand. Only this move could hurt the thick-skinned Black Wind Dragon. It was you who released the Thunder Prison. Black Wind Dragon's voice was like thunder. In that case, I can't let you go. In the Black Wind domain, black thorns emerged one after another, chasing Su Xian and stabbing. Even with the chaotic energy blocking, the speed of those black thorns was so fast that Su Xian couldn't see clearly. Su Xian clasped his hands together. The chaotic energy around him was instantly assimilated by the power of thunder and lightning, trying to destroy the black thorn, but the black thorn still passed through layers of thunder and almost pierced him. There is indeed a huge gap between him and the powerful Marquis. The Marquis realm has realized the domain, and every move is wrapped with the power of the laws of heaven and earth, which is completely incomparable to the Tianhe, Sun, and Silver Moon realms who still rely on energy moves. Human, your strength is not as good as your mouth. The Black Wind Dragon finally found a chance to taunt, and his breath was much better. He spread his wings, more black thorns condensed. At the same time, a layer of black light appeared on his body, protecting him like a protective film, and actually isolated all the chaotic energy liquid. Then he shook his wings, swooped down, and grabbed Su Xian with his claws. Su Xian thought to himself, the domain is really powerful. It can even isolate the pressure from the outside world in the deep sea and maintain most of the strength and speed. In this case, he can only fight with all his strength. The red sea of stars in his body surged, and the power of the red moon flowed into every part of his body along the meridians. The strange and terrifying power made Su Xian's eyes red. Behind him, an illusory red moon rose slowly. Even the thunder turned red. Chaotic particles, the power of the red moon, and the power of thunder, 3 different powers were forcibly merged together by Su Xian at this moment. At this moment, even the prototype of the chaotic body became disordered. 10,000 thunders, Tian Lao Yin, 0.6 huge red lightning pillars smashed down, knocking the Black Wind Dragon down from the charging state. Su Xian squinted his eyes and looked at the Black Wind Dragon that was smashed down, feeling a lot of pressure. This level of attack still couldn't seriously injure the Black Wind Dragon. It could only cause violent fluctuations in its domain, and it couldn't break the domain. Damn, don't play anymore. The attempt to kill Feng Ho failed, and Su Xian knew it in his heart. He could only continue to escape deeper. It was impossible to beat him, so he could only consume him. At this moment, Su Xian felt a movement from the bottom of the sea. What's going on? Su Xian was shocked. Could there be creatures on the bottom of the sea? He quickly swam to the bottom. At this time, the black dragon was in a murderous mood and chased him more and more fiercely, ready to fight him to the death. after another round of pursuit, Su Xian saw the bottom of the sea, but this bottom of the sea was different from what he imagined. The bottom of the chaotic energy sea was transparent. There is an isolated space below. The most important thing is, Su Xian saw 3 people in the underwater space, and 3 monsters were confronting each other. He knew one of them, it was Shueiyueho, who had said, "When will the favor end to him?" Shueiyueho also saw him, and the two looked at each other with surprise. Neither of them expected that they would meet again under such circumstances. The Black Wind Dragon who was chasing him was also confused. The 3 monsters also saw the Black Wind Dragon. One of them looked like a human, with a red body, 2 horns, and a big knife in his hand. The monster shouted, "Zen, didn't I ask you to deal with the human up there? How come you are here?" That the Black Wind Dragon looked at Su Xian. "The human you are talking about is him." In an instant, the eyes of the 7 marquises in the audience all fell on Su Xian. Silver Moon Realm. Can he move freely in the chaotic energy sea without being affected at all? When did such a monster appear on Blue Star? Kill him. The red-skinned monster suddenly jumped up and rushed toward Su Xian, and the Black Wind Dragon also slapped Su Xian, who had nowhere to retreat. Buzz. Under Su Xian, a calm lake surface appeared. The lake surface rippled, and a water-blue sword slowly rose from the bottom of the lake. The world seemed to become quiet at this moment. The peerless figure had protected Su Xian at some point, and with a sword, the water mirror shattered, and the 2 monsters were forced to retreat at the same time. The calm and murderous intent exploded in the ears of the 2 monsters. Want to kill him? Have you asked me?